Hi. Good morning. My name is Edwin Pacheco, and I'm here recording this video to present to you about computers. I'm actually gonna show you what the parts look like. I'm gonna talk about the components, and you guys are gonna see how dirty this one is, cause it's pretty dirty. Miss Thomas, I haven't seen you in a long time, but I hope you're doing good. Okay, this coronavirus is so unfortunate that it had to happen this year. But what's done is done. Okay, so back to my presentation. We're gonna need to take a long walk. You know, the computer, I have it set up like all over there. So we'll get to that right now. All right. Okay, we're here. Okay, so this is what the inside of a computer looks like. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Here, this is a computer. This is the way it actually stands. It's actually a pretty big one, pretty big box tower. So, okay, so on most computers, you have little knobs like these guys. And this usually on this computer, it goes in like this, and then you have this. It only came with one screw, and you just go in there. So you take this out, and boom, you have the computer right here. So according to my boss, there are 3 simple components that everybody should know about. Everybody should know about the tower. The tower, this is a whole box, just a box. It's pretty much where you house all the components together. You don't, this isn't something you need. I mean, you can have a computer without the box, just the pieces laying there. You don't need the box, really. It just makes it more organized. Okay, that's the box. Yeah, and the box come in different sizes. And some are fancy, some are not cheap, you know. Okay, so now you have the power box, and the power box is right here. This guy right here. This guy right here. You can see all the cables coming through. So here you go. You connect the cable right here to the wall, and it regulates how much power, you know, it goes in the computer. And this is pretty important. You pretty much you need a power supply for a computer, or else it won't work. Okay, now the next one is one of the most important ones according to Mike Mayers. He is a instructor at Udemy, and I'm actually taking the test for CompTIA. It's a certification for IT. So the motherboard is this whole green board right here. And this is where all the parts go. If you don't have a motherboard, nothing's gonna be able to connect to each other. So you need a motherboard. The motherboard provides power, and it connects everything else together. Okay, so those are the 3 important ones that you need to know. So there are, I think, 4 or 5 more, and these are also a little bit more complicated. So you see a fan right here. I'm not gonna take it out because this fan is really hard to put back in, but this fan is here to cool. I don't know if you can see, like a little, hold on. Okay, you can't really see, but under this and this metal thing, there is a CPU, and a CPU is like a square. It's not too big, it's a square. And a lot of people call it the brain, but it's not really the brain. The whole computer is a brain. It's pretty much just like a really fast calculator. It's where all the applications go through. This does the heavy work. and it needs a fan, and it needs this right here, the metal right here. It's a heat sink. It needs a heat sink because it heats up so much. So it needs to transfer the sink, the heat. I'm sorry, the heat. So you can take the heat away. If you don't, it can overheat, and your computer will just start turning off, powering off, not working properly. And CPUs are pretty much they're pretty much one of the most expensive components. These are pretty expensive. You need a CPU. Okay, next. The RAM 6. These are the RAM 6, and I'm actually gonna take one out. Okay. So there's two of them. I just took one out. This is a RAM stick right here. And this, a lot of people get this confused with the hard drive. This is not a hard drive. This is a RAM stick. It's RAM stands for random access memory. So you can't store big files, this is not for storage. This is for like accessing quick things really fast. So if you're opening up an application, it'll tell you it's loading, right? It'll tell you to wait a little bit because the CPU gets it from the hard drive right here. This is a big storage one where you store things right here. It has it's made for storing things, but the thing about this one that it's really slow. This one is really fast. Think of it like long-term memory here and fast-term memory, or short-term memory, I mean. So how it works is if you turn on your computer and you open up an application, the CPU goes here and gets the application. That's why it takes longer to load up. But then once you like minimize it or you sleep your computer, you don't turn it off completely, you still have the application open, it stores it here. So when you go back to it, it's quick, it's fast. So some computers use 4, depends on what you want, pretty much what you get. Okay, so I'll just put this back later. Okay, so this is a mass storage, right? It's a hard drive and it has all the storage in here. You need one of these as well. Okay, so those are pretty much it, the basic components. Another important thing that a lot of people don't really keep in mind is the airflow. So you have all these fans here. Where's another one? This one only has 2, but other computers I've seen have a lot more. And these these fans, they cool the system down, but a lot of people don't really look at how the airflow is going through. You need airflow, because if you don't, your system can overheat and just shut down. So airflow is very important here. It should usually it just goes, the air goes out the bottom. I don't know how it is on this computer though. So this is a computer. These are computers you can buy and they're all set up for you. But let's talk about building a computer. Building a computer is a little more complicated. They're for people that actually know the parts, and the reason why they build computers is because if you build your own computer, you can, 5 years pass by and you can put the newest component there if you want. You can't really on the ones that are already built for you, not as much as a built computer. And another cool thing about it is that if you build your own computer, you could get like the best parts from all these different companies and put them together and make a really good computer. but it's if you know them. If you don't know much about computers and you just get all these parts, you can waste your money, because some CPUs, they aren't meant for this motherboard, or this motherboard cannot handle this much of RAM. You see where I'm going? So you really need to know what you're getting yourself into before actually building a computer. And try not to waste like too much money, you know. I'd say if you were to I highly recommend that you research, because if you don't research and you build a computer, you're gonna mess up. So that's it for my speech today, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, you can just email me, Miss Thomas. And my three sources was my my boss, my future boss. His name is Bill Johnson, and then Mike Myers. I'll put it on the Google Docs, and I have a YouTube video that I'm gonna link to this. I'll give you the link so you can check it out if you want. Those are my three videos. I mean, sources. Okay, Miss Thomas. I hope you have a really good day. And I hope whatever, if you're going through anything bad, you'll get through it healthy. Thank you.